Maybe we'll go to the next slide. What do you think? All right, train and trade. Jonathan, tell them what you covered on Monday and Tuesday, and then I'll pick up today.
On Monday, we covered the 24-hour market, a little bit about trading on Mondays, some insights Tom wanted me to cover. On Tuesday, we talked about using the FTD algo. Today is all about tape reading, kind of the third leg of this week's education for train and trade every day in December, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If Tom does issue a trade, it'll be tracked in the TNT program. So go to dtachetrader.com/TNT. This is Tom's most active and I would say probably most complete service, for lack of a better way to put it. He's active almost all day long inside a Telegram channel. It's a fantastic program, dtachetrader.com/TNT. So Tom, let's get to today's topic, which is tape reading.
Yeah, this is a near and dear product. In fact, this was the basis before I invented the roadmap years ago. I was a tape reader. And one of the problems I had was that I was writing things on pieces of paper, and when I'd be driving or whatever, talking to the floor, doing all the stuff. And I said, boy, wouldn't it be great to have some technology that would keep up with these numbers? Because, I've told people, and I've made no bones about this, is that my handwriting, I can't read it myself after it dries. It's pretty bad. And so the nice thing that in one of our very first features inside the roadmap was the ETR line. Today, Chuck confirmed yesterday that it is clearly one of the most key tools inside the roadmap that we've had for many, many years. In fact, Chuck introduced something I forgot was inside the roadmap, and maybe y'all can get it at the training session that they hold on the roadmap, but it will record the high, the opens, and the close individually. That's pretty helpful when you're looking at those, okay? Pretty interesting. That everybody see that tape there? I had one in my office. I bequeathed it to my son. I guess bequeathed. I don't know if that's the right word, but I gave it to him, and he's got it in his office today. Very valuable. I bought it years ago. One from the original floor of 1929. It's a collector's item, and he took that. My other son took a big eagle I had, so we let them pick, and that's where they went. Now, tape reading. If you go read this book, it's a great book. I still read it. Every now and then I'll go back when things are not going my way, and I'll read this book because it's so insightful. And I'll tell you, it's one of the many contributions to how I got here today was reading that book by Richard Smitten. Prudent speculator never argues with the tape. Now, I've seen people have a lot of success in the market, but then they argue with what the market's telling them. Their bias gets interfered. They don't like taking loss. Does that apply to anybody here where your bias interferes with your thinking and you don't like taking losses? Well, that second part of this, the markets are never wrong, okay? But opinions often are. This is a great book, and I will challenge each of y'all to read it before the end of the year. World's Greatest Stock Trader. It's a great story, but it talks about how a man watching the tape built a fortune. And there's a lot of key information that Smitten puts in this book. I think it's one of the best books out there. You ought to get it and read it, in my opinion. And I got a special thank you for Al. Al's holds the title of, Al Macero holds the title, Alphonse, I call him, holds the title of, he's still going at it at the ripe old age of 93, in great shape, you wouldn't know it. And he was at the class and he's coming back in April. And, but he gave me such a nice gift. Anybody ever have coffee go cold on you when you're drinking it? Well, he gave me a nice gift, and I wanted to thank him publicly about that because it was so nice of him to think about that. And what I really love about it, it's an Air Force Blue. So he knew everything about that particular gift. So Again, thank you, Al. If you're listening, you might be driving back, but just a great guy. Everybody who's met Al, who's met Al, he comes to Sawgrass, he'll come to small classes. He's a great guy. Retired dentist. He's a retired dentist. So Edwin said he's met him. But anyway, Jesse Livermore, this book, I would say it was one of the turning points, along with my Globex terminal, that turned me from a big loser to a winner. Great book. Tape reading is watching the action in the market to see which side is stronger, who's winning the battle. And I do that naturally. I've been doing it for so many years. And people say, Tom, how did you know to buy this or buy that? I'm watching it based on the roadmap setup. And by watching it, I would say, catch most things that move. Like Monday in the class, I was watching NVIDIA, and NVIDIA took off Monday. Well, NVIDIA, when it took off, went to 190 by me watching the tape on NVIDIA. Since that time, it's retreated back to where it started, but it's still above or right at the opening of the week in its simplest terms. Try to trade the active movers. Now, I prefer stocks that have an average range of 3 to 5 points. Those are controllable ranges during the course of a day. And I can name a few of them. A lot of them are the Mag 7 stocks that fall in that category. I think that you'll find that's a pretty conservative range to trade a stock, and 3 to 5 points. An average true range. Does everybody know what average true range means? It basically gives you the personality of the ticker you're trading. Let me give you an example. The QQQ for a couple of years, had an average true range of about 5 points. In November, it expanded to 15. So it was 3 times with the volatility, 3 times the movement. Now it's pulling back to its average range. Statisticians call it reverting back to the mean, the average. Pretty good stuff. Trade the active movers. Pay attention from the setup from the opening prices. Most people, they learn from Wall Street looking at the close on. I've always took the opening price. It's a better indicator for telling you about the nature of a stock. If you look at a stock, and I'll give you one today I'm looking at, and you will find out if it's above its opening, like Amazon today, it's going higher. Even in this down market, it's very, very good to look at that. So pay attention from the setup from the opening price. E-mini, opened last night, and E-mini, from where it opened, 68.47, went up to that monthly open, 68.55, and ran into resistance. But the E-mini is very good to pay attention to the opening prices. My pivot number today was what? Anybody remember what my pivot number was today? I think it's the pivot number for the day. It's a big news item today, and the pivot number is going to pay you. Insights to tape reading. So once you determine your entry, your target, and ABO, and by the way, we talked a lot about that during the class, and that is a whole lesson inside our interactive 52-week, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But we give you details for whether you're new or whether you're an old trader or in between. You've got the process laid out that everybody here if they can read, they can learn this entry, target, and all bets off numbers. That's insight number 3 off the tape. Insight number 4, if long the market and tape reading, a fallback below the open is typically a warning sign to step aside. I want you to think about how How much money you would have saved knowing that one insight? That one insight. It's a heck of a warning sign. Okay? Be aware of it. Insight number 4. Now, the electronic tape reader, this is so valuable. In fact, if I just sold it by itself, it'd be worth whatever price we wanted to put on it. But this is, if you ever see my computer, you'll see I got DTR line up there. I'm doing a presentation. I glance over and see the market's got a bid right now. It didn't have a bid, but it's got one right now. And that means people are coming in buying the market. In fact, the S&P's at 68.53. Anything close, like 68.55, you'll notice stocks that you're following have gone up, haven't they? Because 75% of all stocks will move higher. And that's the beautiful thing about what I just taught you, okay? If the E-mini's going higher, it's going to pull stocks up. Look at MU. Look at APP. Look at Apple. This is what we do when we're trying to evaluate how to trade and when to trade. Now, the mini pivot on the ETR line is the 30-minute open. It's the last traded price. ETR line is the last traded price. So if you look at that, you take that mini pivot from every 30-minute period and compare it to the current price to catch these trends. Right now, the diamond's good, gold's good, NVIDIA just got a bid, Microsoft's good, Tesla's good, silver's good. Just looking across the board, you can tell with D-mini going up how everything is starting to move higher. And then you get into key numbers and stuff, okay? And I do key numbers, but we might save that for another session when Chuck's here. Look at Palantir. How did I know to get long Palantir? It's above its opening price. Another criteria too, but anyway, moving higher. Now, that is the live trading, or not live trading, that is the roadmap. Any questions about this? I'm a tape reader. Tape reading is how I find early opportunities of stocks that are in play. I trade futures this way. Bruce, the opening report refers, when you're tape reading, to the daily open. Now, stocks open at 9:30. Futures open at 6 o'clock the previous night. Any questions on this exercise in tape reading? You see how it works? So we can put stocks in there. Jonathan, go back to the ETR line. Let's take a few stocks and analyze it based on 2 criteria. Where it was when it opened today, and you got a central time up here, I'm assuming, right?
Actually, I keep the computer on Eastern time now for you.
Well, way to go. All right. So I want y'all to give us a stock, and we're going to analyze it. Any stock, throw it up here, and we'll analyze it based on the opening price. You'll type it in there. I don't know anything about the stock you're going to tell me. He's going to pick. Looks like he's going to pick Tesla. Well, we got Tesla there already, right? Let's take Tesla. Does everybody see that Tesla opened at what price? 446? Everybody see that? Notice that Tesla is coming into the opening price. Where's it at, John? 446, right?
There is.
Tesla. Everybody see that? Palantir opened at 183. It's been a better mover than Tesla during that same time frame. Look at the difference. Knowing what I just taught you, you'd go to Palantir with your money, wouldn't you? Now let's look at Walmart. See Walmart? Walmart opened at 9:30 went to 1535, went up to 1565, and now it's selling off. Walmart today opened at 115. It's sort of in the noise zone right there at 1480. It's too early to tell, but that's not a good sign in Walmart. And I've got some options in Walmart right now. So if this continues this way, I'll go do something fancy there, maybe spread it or whatever. And that's how you do it. Other key factors is know the monthly open. And by the way, you can do that, I think, on the roadmap now. If I remember correctly, you can set it in there and have the monthly open. I know you can on your custom page, right, Jonathan? On your custom page, you can put the monthly open up there on the custom page. But the month open, and I would tell you this, since this is something to keep in mind, since we're right around the month open for the E-mini, every stock here is going to be judged about where it opened the month at. Let's just do that for fun. You got a compass there. Where did E-mini open? I told you 68.55, didn't I? Okay. Let's do a stock. Do MU. Here's an example of MU. Where did MU open the month?
232 quarter.
You said 232?
Yep.
Look at MU. It's at 355. Using what I taught you today, you would have been on MU. You know, I've been on MU since the first of the month, once it broke a certain percentage above that opening price. That's MU. Give it, let's see, something else that we normally trade. Put Amazon in there. I talked about it today. I traded it today, Amazon. Where is its monthly open, Jonathan?
233.
233. It traded up to, if you go look at Amazon, it traded up to 232 today. It's getting back to its monthly open. Put the QQQ in there. I've been talking about the QQQ being very bullish this month. Where's the QQQ?
It opened the month at 613. It's now 623.
Okay, and let's just do some math on the side. What's 7.5% to 613? In other words, traditionally the QQQ goes up 7.5% for the month. So what if you add 7.5% to the opening price? Where would resistance come in with the QQQ?
658 to 59-ish area, 660.
So we got a lot more to go, don't we? If that trend continues.
Mm-hmm.
That's an example. You know, one of the criteria I taught the class is I started building a portfolio for the month. And here's a couple stocks that we selected. MU was one of them, obviously. Okay. MU was one. I'm trying to think of what the others were. It said, PAAS was one. PAAS. That was one. And where's its monthly open, Jonathan?
46.5.
Yeah, so it's right around. If you look at PAAS, you know, that's not, you know, that's one of the stocks we selected. Okay, that they should have a good December. Okay. Nvidia, where's Nvidia's opening of the month?
174. Current price 182.
That was one of the stocks we selected for the month, Nvidia. And the criteria was using Jonathan's 3-day algo and then using Monday's high. Did we go higher than Monday's high this week? And we did it in the ones I gave you. And we started building the portfolio for that. General Motors was another one we looked at. It was very positive. But does everybody see PAAS? It's at 48 right now. How do I know that? I got it on my tape over here. Got my eye. Where'd Google open the month?
317.5.
Google hadn't moved enough yet, but it's moving in the right direction. Hey, AGQ, look at this one. This was a silver play. We did it. Open a month where, Jonathan?
About 110.
Where?
About 110.
110. Where's it trading right now?
123.
That's not a bad play already. You know, the market's going down. You all caught in one stock you think you love, but the money's been made by being diversified, going where they're paying. They're paying there. And that's the beauty of learning what we're showing. Okay? You never left out in the rain with the DTI approach. Jonathan, I think that pretty well covers everything I want to cover during train and trade. Can't wait to the Fed meeting today. Now let's talk about the interactive home study course. Folks, have you ever had something that would increase your results that you could do at your own pace? For example, if you want to lose weight, you know, how do you lose weight? Eat less calories. And if you want to accelerate it, guess how you do it? You want to accelerate losing weight. You got to keep at it every day and have the discipline, right? Did y'all enjoy what I covered so far? It gets better inside the interactive home study course. We launched it on January the 1st, this Friday. We have our first meeting of the group where I take ideas. We have got so much to teach. The beautiful thing about it, have you ever had a training course that keeps current with the current market week by week? This is an opportunity plus situation. And you can buy it right now as a beta member for 25% of the price. If you care about your trading, you want to learn how to trade, you want to improve what you're doing already, if you're making money, this is the course for you. Whether you're starting out or whether you just want to have that ongoing take on what's happening in the market. We'll have up to 3 lessons per week inside each week. We'll have what is current. For example, we're going to kick off the month of January. The month of January will be kicked off. We'll follow up the second week with Jeffrey Hirsch, a special guest, talking about the seasonality stuff the second week and what it means. So we got special guests throughout the year, and I think it's going to be so valuable to be part of it. Now, any questions about this? I think do we have a tape we're going to play, Jonathan?
Yeah, we do. We do.
All right, listen to this tape, get on board. I'll see everybody at live trading, and don't miss out. Thank you. You will love to be part of this because we'll make it very exciting in 2026. This program is launching January 1st, kick off the year 2026. Here's your early bird chance, limited to 100 people can come in here. 100 people. This is your early bird chance to buy into the beta program, be part of building it with us in the month of December. We'll transform your trading journey in 2026. That's our goal. And you'll be able to take the approach we teach and use, whether you're a short-term trader, swing trader, long-term trader, or a casual trader, okay? That's what this is going to be about. Folks, I've been doing this a long time. I've been published. I've had some very unique experiences, and clearly I know how to interpret news from what the media says it is. That's the beautiful thing about being a trader / investor. Now, 30 years of excellence. DTI has been building premier trading education. Our trading platform has been modified and improved over 3 decades, combining our unmatched experience, not from books, but from a real market, with proven teaching methods. We have over 100+ years of combined experience on our team. a lot of different styles and blended in. We have thousands of success stories. I call them love letters, okay, over the years. Some of you have written those. Some of you have been part of it. This is the next great leap forward in DTI history. Now, if you ever felt left behind, I talk to people all the time. Unlike a lot of people out there, there's a lot of you I've had conversations with about how to get you past those roadblocks for you achieving your goal. People tell me all the time they really appreciate it. I appreciate you. That's the beautiful thing about it. We're not going to leave anybody behind. The problem is many classes are designed to teach people advanced skills, not leaving much room for maybe the basic foundation stuff and then experienced traders to learn. The reality is when you step into grad school calculus class without algebra, you're going to fail. Folks, this course is designed to take you at whatever level you're at and take you higher. Now, it's not your fault. The traditional approach to trading education has failed beginners, but today, forget about any bad experience you might have had in the past. We will change that for you. I've done it time and time again with our techniques. The home study method, this is what I like about it. You go at your own pace. It will be laid out over the course of the year, and this is a great course. Absolutely. Jennifer says, can I give this course besides buying it for myself? Absolutely, you can. Folks, this is going to be a history-making experience working with me and my team over the next year. That's a promise. Now, here's Jennifer. Speaking of Jennifer, I met her last Sawgrass. She was doing a bunch of stuff she'd read books about. I said, it's not going to work, Jennifer. You have to, if you want to trade, you got to learn the following. She was going down the wrong path. I stopped that. Now she has succeeded. She has become a full-time trader with DTI and great progress. It's a matter of time before this is all she does. Jennifer's here now. She's working at it. Y'all met her if you're at Sawgrass. How about David? You heard him last Friday. He's a long-term experienced trader, probably knows more about the market than 99% of people, but he had an obstacle. The obstacle was consistency. What was he doing that kept him from being a success? The light bulb went off in the last 60 days after all these years. And I admire him for his perseverance, his positive attitude, and taking a lot of training over the years. Great story in development. David. How about Carol? Everybody's heard me talk about Carol. From total beginner to star student. She worked at it. She was from California. And I didn't think she was going to make it through the first class. I told her that. She had so many questions, but she's committed to excellence. You'll get to meet Carol if you hang around DTI. She comes to our classes always trying to improve. Carol. Now, whether you're investing at a smaller level, 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000, we will teach you how to maximize it over the next year, okay? Every one of them that came in was treated really good and are growing to the next level because they listened. But there's a better way. What I've created in the home study approach is put the power right into your own hand where you don't have to wait on me to get to the class. You can go to it if you got a question. DTI Interactive Home Study course. Be the first time we've offered it. I'm launching the Interactive Home Study course to you, and I believe it's the only training program like it or ever will be. Think about the experience that we bring to the table that's going to save you a fortune. We'll have one lesson on things not to do or not to listen to. That's worth a fortune in itself, that one chapter. Boy, I wish somebody would have told that to me before I got all that money. Anyway, you will learn it and you will know it before it ever happens, or if you hear it. Oh, I was warned about that in my home study course. Be skeptical. where you want to be, if you're part of interactive home study, it's a living, breathing course that you can bring stuff up throughout the year with me. You're going to love it. We build on a weekly approach of education. Each course, each week is carefully designed to cover what I call the building blocks to success for the year. Whether the market goes up or down, even though I think it's going up, I will teach you what to do if it doesn't. That's the beautiful thing about the interactive course. You'll master the fundamentals, how I market time. And I'll just tell you right now, there won't be a bunch of junk there. It'll be a simple approach to learn how to get on the right side of the day, the week, or the month. Key numbers, we talk about it all the time. I give you key numbers. I gave you a key percent tonight on 4 tickers. Reference bar techniques, how to use the reference bars, learning and then applying. Chart reading mastery. I've studied charts my whole career. I'm a numbers guy, but I still know how to look at charts. I will teach you a simple approach that gives you the right answer, whether you're using a 5-minute chart, 30-minute chart, daily chart, or weekly chart. And then we'll tie in volume to it, because I'll tell you something. That's a very important element. Sometimes you got to have that rocket fuel to propel this stuff. We'll talk about that in the chart reading mastery. Asset allocation. I'm going to teach you about stocks. We're going to teach you about ETFs. We're going to teach you about futures. The futures portion will give you an orientation that will make you thirsty for more knowledge. You'll love it. Risk management. You got to learn how to protect yourself. Whether the market's going way up, way down, or whether you are to see a warning sign coming. There's 6 warning signs plus a bonus that will tell you if the market's going to crash. It will be taught in this course. You will know the checklist. You'll know what to look for. How about the emotions that are tied into trading? Having that emotional control. Learn how to manage that fear and greed. We all have it, and we all have to manage it, don't we? The 2 emotions that destroy most of traders. I'll give you some techniques, things to do. Discipline. Nothing works unless you have discipline. And of course, the confidence comes from making money, right? So there's going to be a lot of that in here too. The psychology of trading. Understanding long-term market cycles. Okay, let me just stop you right here. We'll start with a 10-year approach. 10 years. We'll bring it to 5 years. We'll bring it to 2 years, and then we'll bring it to the year we're in. Okay? These cycles are important to know. Monthly and annual playbooks will be created for you. How about that? Every month you will have a playbook for that month. That'll be part of the course. The strategies that will work. How that plays into our annual playbook. All that will be taught to you where you'll have it for this year and the future. Beyond the basics. I just won't keep you in the basics. I'll take you to further levels as far as you can go. Some of the advanced subjects we don't get anywhere else. There's just a taste of unique topics we will cover. So many more. Special trading days, master. Certain days, you saw it. How many people were me on the day after Thanksgiving? I've been telling people for 15 years, it's one of the easiest days to make money if you know how to do it. We call it Green Friday. That's a special trading day. There's another one coming up too. Not Christmas, but the day after Christmas. I'll tell you all those special days. You don't have to look for it. How about tax optimization strategies? I will bring as a guest speaker a gentleman that the industry retail listens to. I will coordinate that. We'll bring him at the right time in to give you some insights to saving tax dollars. Trading in retirement, that's a big part of everybody here. I want to always take that retirement money and grow it. There's a couple ways to do that. And that's the beautiful thing about it. different account types and account structures, and navigating the rules of retirement account that will be covered. How to make a transition. You might be working right now. You might be going to that other side where you're not working. How to make that transition. I think that's a valid chapter for everybody to know. Either it's important to you this year or some year in the future. I told you students have paid a lot of money to get information. What I've done with this home study, with this course, I've incorporated what I call a moving document that you can use that will make you so excited. Real success stories, you read it all the time. Trading with confidence, you got to have confidence. Consistently growing your money. That's what it's all about. Testimonials come in all the time. I believe in being personal with you and talking to you. You will have access, if you want to talk, through this home study course. We'll make it happen. We care about your success. Doesn't do me any good to tell you, hey, I made $5,000 last week on this stock, if you don't make any money and understand why it was a stock to buy right off the 10 ticker page. Best investments I ever made, return on DTI's education has been incredible. That was said by so many people, it made the top 10. Price barriers. Now, this is why you got to make a decision, because if you join me tonight, you will buy this at 25% of the future price of this product as a beta group, okay? So, you got to make a decision. Here's the pricing. Full year access, 4,000, 52 live sessions, 100% recordings included. That's the tab that most people's going to pay. You don't have to pay that because you're here tonight. You can join me. It launches January the 1st, $9.99. Sign up at dtitrader.com/home or call us at 904-706. Now, a retired dentist made this one. Matter of fact, I'll be seeing him tomorrow. No hint who he is. He joined one of our small classes and the light bulb went off for him. And boy, he is getting to do what he dreamed about doing because he took the time to learn, and he's going to get better and better at it as time goes on. In fact, we were supposed to have a one-on-one this week. He was kind enough to let me move it to January. He's dedicated to learning. Futures class will be at Sawgrass next year also. Here's Roger out of orthopedic surgeon. He's here tonight. Now, he's been down a lot of roads with this desire. Because of understanding what not to do, he's listening intently, and now he's doing one-on-one training with me this month. Hello, Roger. How about Monica? Monica, when she first heard this, made her husband join the program. He's joined the journey. I love it. Monica said, I need you part of this. So Robert's going to take the home study course because he can do it on his own time. I love it. Sign up at dtitrader.com/home. Your story starts tonight. I hope it's like David's or Monica's or Roger's. Just get part of it. The DTI advantage is our experience, the community we've created, the flexibility we have, and support we give you. Program launches January 1st, interactive. Folks, I laid it out the best way I could, so I think this is how we do it. Any questions? Are you excited? I told you it was going to be good when I got it rolled out, and all those people that believed me and became part of it, took those slots away. Folks, these slots will go at $9.99. And tonight, after looking at this presentation, you can't say no. Be part of it. Let me know if you're joining me tonight, because guess what, folks? I'm counting it down. Jennifer says she's going to join. Great.
Hey, one thing, T-Buzz, we had about 30 people that have already signed up.
Yep.
Sent them a special link so they can extend it for $9.97 for another 2 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're already signed up, there's a special link. Now, what about if somebody signs up tonight and wants that special link? Will they get an opportunity?
Yeah, they'll get an opportunity, but
Okay, so if you get signed up, Adam's going to extend it for 2 years, okay? For those that want 2 years. I'd take as many years as they give you because this is going to be so great. After I finish this is going to be the highlight of all these years. Building a school in Mobile, bringing people in. What you're going to get in my home study course, nobody else will have it. I promise you that. You're going to learn things that I believe are worthy of knowing. Being able to come in at the start of the month and say, hey, Apple's got a movement of 2.10. Well, where does that put Apple off the opening price? That's important. Okay? That's important. I'm so excited for everybody being part of it. I want to thank you for joining. Any other questions? We're going to coordinate that. We're going to do our first live session at the end of this week. We'll probably do it weekly until we get, the basics out of the way. We've made a lot of headway already on getting the course built and everything. I'm so excited. I've got a friend of mine is working on the frequently asked questions, and so we'll get that tied in. We'll be ready to rock January 1. Now I'm going to take your input. If I hear something that everybody needs to learn about, it will be included in here. You better count on that one. No, it's a 1 year. It's a 1 year course, Steve. That's why we're offering the second year. This is so exciting for people, I know, but this is really something that everybody I've ran into needs. Hey, Wendy, put your phone number in there, and Chuck, write Wendy's number down. We'll take care of that for you. Be glad to help you. Yeah, the slides for tonight will be put out and everything, but how about the people? Here's my question. How about the people? Are you getting excited, those people that joined, about this? Okay.
yeah, Robert, you're right. That extends it for an additional 2 years. So
Hold it, Adam. Whoa. You're giving it
Yeah.
an extra 2 years if they do the. Are you kidding me?
yeah,
He obviously didn't run that by me.
that's what I was just telling you.
I thought it was 1 year. I didn't know you were.
I-
All right, take advantage of it while it's there.
It's already a great deal, so they got to take advantage of this great deal.
I hear you. Hey, Chuck, are you here?
Yeah, Tom, I'm listening in.
You know, I think you ought to tell them a little bit how we started many years ago and what it's evolved into. Can you believe that all those classes, everything that we've done over the years, how helpful is this going to be for people to have to work off of a living document, so to speak? It's going to be pretty cool, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very impressive. I'm looking forward to the challenge of putting together some of these classes
Yeah.
and trying to figure out how much information we want to pack into each week. Like, are we talking 2 hours, an hour? How much presentation are you planning on here?
Yeah, and I didn't mention this. We did, and I think I hit the wrong button, but we're going to have guest speakers, and it's going to kick off. It's going to kick off. The guest speakers are going to kick off with Jeffrey Hirsch in January. I thought it was appropriate to have him because of the Stock Traders Almanac, and then I thought that was appropriate. I've already got to save a slot for the tax guy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, Tom, as being something similar to when we would sit down with students in that little office in Mobile before we moved to the big one. Sitting across from the person who's learning, the person who's teaching, and getting that sort of interactive, you throw out the word interactive here, but getting that interactive experience. Like, I'm really looking forward to the session that you planned for later this week when we get to hear from the students what they want to hear about.
Yeah, and that's one reason you want to be part of it, because we're adding things all the way. We had four subjects that were already added. The tax subject was added from the students, okay? And I think I want to have somebody that comes on that gives you a twist. One area that I really want to include in here, and it came to me, is the basic use of the artificial intelligence, okay? The basic use of that in the future. I think that's going to be an important thing that people need to know how to basically use it, okay? And that's just one example. I used it tonight, and I was shocked how easy it was, okay? Tom, I would say the roadmap software would be an addition. I would get it without doing this. I wouldn't trade without it, but I'm very biased. So you'll see me use it time and time again. You look at what our track record is, how we do things. It's the software that sets it up, okay? And I wouldn't trade without it. And most anybody that gets into it and learns it gets to that level, okay? Gets to that level. MTI by DTI is good too, absolutely, for market turmoil. And I like the scanner that we have there to lead us into that zone of probability. We got a lot of great things to help people with, and our goal is always try to deliver to you something that you can use, okay? Yeah, Rob, nothing changes. Hey, by the way, Rob, I need to give you a call Wednesday morning. Put me on your schedule, okay? Wednesday morning. Any other questions? This is the time to ask it. As far as the market goes, I will put out numbers in the morning, and I think the SPY, one thing about it, DB, on the SPY, it underperformed in the month of December. The SPY did. I would spend my money over on the QQQ if you're looking for pops. Yeah, after 9 tonight, check your futures first, if you will. I've got something I'm gonna do there. Yeah, afternoon, after 4 on Wednesday will work for me, Rob, after 4. Yeah, Jim, it will have a Telegram channel. It will have a Telegram channel. Great question. Any more questions about the interactive home study course? How did you like the, what I would call the way it was laid out tonight? Was it understandable what I laid out? Give me some feedback with the slides and what we showed you. You know, you got to care about your education. Believe me, I don't care how much you've been trading or how long you've been trading. You know, Jim's been trading 30 plus years. He'll be in that course. Yeah, it's going to be really, Shelby, it's really going to be comprehensive, I think, okay? But say, for example, we're in week 1, right? Week 1 has a certain pattern to it that it will be taught to you in the home study. Week 2's got a certain pattern that will be taught to you, things to look for in week 2, week 3, week 4. You know, a lot of people think that one thing works all year long. That's not the way it is. There's different seasons in the market, okay? And with different seasons in the market, the home study is going to guide you what the focus should be, the way Wall Street and everybody's going to go that way. Anyway, it makes it exciting. All right, I'm going to wrap it up if that's okay. It's going to be a great week. Be part of it. Like I said, after 9 in the Futures First section, I'll be posting something there. Okay. Any last minute questions for me, Chuck? Can you think of anything I forgot?